Hello there, Mia Grady here with a look at what's making headlines in Houston, starting with a man who says his life was forever changed in this moment when someone driving by attacked him with bear spray. It caused him to stumble in the street where he was later hit by another car, leaving him paralyzed. Houston police released video of the June incident this week, hoping to find both drivers. Matt Doherty spoke with the victim and has more on the story.
This afternoon, we traveled to Schulenburg to visit with 37-year-old Mark Michael in his room at the rehab facility where he spent the last 4 months.
So currently I'm a paraplegic, so I'm paralyzed from the waist down.
In the early morning hours of June 18th, Mark's life was changed forever.
I know that it was done intentionally. I know it was done out of malice.
After spending the day drinking, he ultimately wound up at a bar in Montrose. This security video shows Mark trying to steady himself at the corner of Crocker Street a little after 2:30 a.m. when a dark-colored Kia Soul approaches him.
He said, "Hey," and then he sprayed me with bear spray.
Disoriented and in pain, Mark stumbles into the street. He eventually falls to his knees and can't get back up.
There was some business vans and some cars driving around me, stopping, and nobody helped me or anything like that.
While Mark is down, he's hit by an oncoming car. We've stopped the video before the point of impact.
It hit me going probably about 50 miles an hour at least.
In the months that have passed, Mark has realized his hopes and dreams of the past are gone.
It's pretty much lost everything, I've always been an athlete. I've always loved playing sports. I've always been really nice. When I go out, I love to play pool, sing karaoke. I love to make people smile, And there was no reason for somebody to do what they did to me like that.
After weeks of surgery in Houston, Mark was transferred to this facility where he's trying to learn how to live a very different life.
It just altered my whole life,
Incredibly, forgiveness is a word Mark uses freely.
And I forgive those people, and I don't want to see anybody else get hurt like I got hurt. And so.
Well, let me just tell you, you must be so incredibly strong to just be sitting here and talking to us right now.
Mark is hopeful the ones who hurt him might come forward on their own. But in the meantime, Houston police are asking anyone with information to give them a call. Until then, Mark is taking his new life one day at a time.
Just because my legs don't work and just because I can't walk and work and do the things that I normally do doesn't mean that, I can't make adjustments and give it my best and keep trying and keep fighting.
Thank you for caring so much.
In Schulenburg, I'm Matt Doherty, KHOU 11 News.
Stay strong, Mark. Now to an update about a Buddhist monk who was seriously hurt after getting hit by a car in Dayton. We told you last month about the group of monks on a peace walk from Texas to Washington, D.C. While they were walking through Dayton, deputies say a car accidentally hit the back of their escort vehicle, which ended up hitting a few of the monks. Well, this week, the group's Facebook page posted an update saying the monk who suffered the most severe injury had his leg amputated. The injured monk said he decided to opt for amputation instead of having to undergo multiple surgeries in the future. He is now resting comfortably and wishing his fellow monks well on their journey. According to the live tracker on their Facebook page, they spent the week in Louisiana. Extra cleanup crews are back tackling months of trash across Houston. Mayor Whitmire says delays are over and an outside contractor is helping. Devon Rahming shows us what's being done.
Well, these same piles that we showed you out here yesterday are still waiting for pickup, but Houston Mayor John Whitmire says he's redirecting unused disaster recovery money to finally tackle the backlog. Piles of brush, broken limbs, and bulky debris have been sitting on curbs for months, and city leaders admit they simply fell behind. Mayor John Whitmire says Houston didn't have enough crews to keep up, and the complaints were coming from every corner of the city. Last week, Public Works pitched a plan to tap leftover funds from cleanup efforts tied to last year's derecho and Hurricane Beryl. The mayor approved the $1.2 million proposal, allowing Houston to bring in Ashbrit, the same contractor that handled storm debris during both storms. The mayor also wants to remind people that not all of the items we've seen in piles across the city will be picked up.
We need cooperation. You can't have a rent house and decide, you're changing renters and take all their belongings and put out on the sidewalk. It was never intended for that. We're not equipped to take a house full of household goods and furniture to the dump. That is a moving operation.
The city says while tree limbs and storm debris are okay, things like fencing, lumber, drywall, or a whole house worth of discarded belongings are classified as construction or commercial waste, and the city won't be picking those up. Crews expect to continue working through the backlog over the next several weeks. In Southwest Houston, Devon Rahming, KHOU 11 News.
The top international soccer teams will be coming to Houston for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The draw is one of the most important moments ahead of the World Cup matches. But breaking down the 48 teams into groups isn't as easy as it may seem. Jason Bristol takes us through the process.
Before the matches begin, the drama starts with the draw. The moment the soccer world hits refresh nonstop. Here's how it works. For the first ever 48-team World Cup, all the qualified countries, plus a few playoff teams, are placed into 4 pots of 12 based on world rankings. Pot 1 has the heavyweights: Spain, Argentina, France, England, Brazil, Germany. You get the idea. And the 3 hosts, the US, Mexico, and Canada. From there, FIFA draws 1 team from each pot to create 12 groups, groups A through L. It's kind of like building 12 dinner tables for a very large wedding with some complicated seating rules. One rule, teams from the same region usually can't share a group, except Europe, which shows up with half the guest list. Still, Europe can have no more than 2 squads in any group. Another rule, the top 4 teams in the world rankings get split into different pathways, so they can't meet before the semifinals. Translation: FIFA keeps those giants apart early. The hosts, they're already locked in. Mexico starts in Group A, Canada Group B, and the US in Group D. And whether you're in a group of opportunity or a full-on group of nope. Actually, it's a group of death. So yes, it's complicated, it's tense, and it's the most watched lottery drawing in sports. And whether your team gets lucky, well, that's between you and the soccer gods.
The excitement builds. Thanks, Jason. And with that, that's a wrap of your Houston headlines. I'm Mia Gradney.
I'm Chris Lawrence in Dallas with your headlines from North Texas. A community is mourning the loss of a beloved neighbor in Fort Worth. As Adriana de Alba reports, he was sound asleep when a truck crashed into his apartment and killed him.
On a calm Tuesday night along Sycamore School Road, a moment of chaos stole the life of a man his neighbors adored.
Just very scary, traumatic.
Fort Worth police say a pickup truck left the roadway and crashed into this first-floor apartment. Video showing chaos as first responders rushed to the crash site. The red pickup truck slammed through the brick building, ending up fully inside the apartment.
What really happened?
Inside the apartment, 39-year-old Raidel Liranza Alvarez slept. Police say he did not survive.
I'm very sad, confused.
Off camera, Alvarez's sister told us he was a dentist from Cuba who had lived in the U.S. just 2 years.
That whole truck was in there.
These neighbors, who called him Ray, weren't related to him, but say he felt like family.
He was like a son to me, always willing to help me out.
Police say the driver stayed at the scene and passed a field sobriety test. Exactly why he lost control is still unknown.
It's a tragic loss for such a good person.
Donna Phillips, who lived next door to Ray, says he was the kind of neighbor who checked on people, helped them, made this apartment building feel like a community.
Nobody can make sense of it.
She says Ray was full of plans and full of purpose. He would have turned 40 this month.
He had dreams. He was on a journey. To see that taken from him is just traumatic.
Police say Alvarez died on the way to the hospital.
He just flew into that wall.
His neighbors say this corner of the complex won't feel the same without him, and they're praying investigators can explain What happened?
He wasn't ready to leave this world.
In Fort Worth, I'm Adriana D'Alba.
Phone scams aren't new, but as one woman discovered, they can be easy to fall for. Brittany Costello has one family's warning after they suffered a devastating financial loss.
It started with a phone call. One Ann Reed would soon discover was the most expensive call of her life.
I fell for it because I thought I was working with the FBI. I really did.
She wasn't actually working for the FBI, despite the doctored documents that landed in her email from a person posing as FBI agent Mr. Richard Williams.
First time I saw it, I was like, that's fake. Just, it looked like a canned photo.
But she didn't check with her son, Matthew Reed, when her daily phone calls started coming in May 2025, back when she had close to $600,000 in a family trust.
I know where it's at. It's in a bank. It's safe. And I just wasn't so naive. I was so naive, and I've lost it all.
At 84 years old, Reed spends most days at her senior living apartment in Fort Worth when she's not out with friends. But life wasn't always so leisurely. She had 3 boys and went from a stay-at-home mom to conquering the business world, something she's proud provided her family more than enough. Matthew is her oldest and has never questioned his mother's intelligence.
Very smart, very independent, and almost too independent sometimes.
But when the fake FBI agent on the other end of the phone started making demands, Ann Reed followed them. It's all here in the notes she was mindful enough to keep, including a voicemail from who she thought was Agent Williams.
Either you call us back or we take action.
She was asked to move money from the trust to several banks in Fort Worth and Keller.
They were telling me how much gold to buy and to put it this, then put it here and put it there.
These are some of the gold bars she thought she got by using the FBI's money to work a case. She doesn't remember why she thought that.
Reed met with someone in this parking lot off of Golden Triangle 3 different times. It's a closed Wendy's. That means no one is watching. There are no surveillance cameras to prove. She handed a complete stranger $500,000 in gold bars.
Almost every penny from her bank accounts.
Got on and looked at one bank account. It was closed. I opened another bank account. It was closed. No money. It was closed. Zeros.
It's all part of the playbook, says Michael Dana, a retired Dallas police officer who worked financial crimes.
They know how much to feed you to get you to the next step.
He points to FBI stats showing seniors losing $4.8 billion to fraud in 2024 alone, up more than 30% from 2023. And Texans are among the victims who lose the most.
It's just mind-boggling that all the stuff's going on, how much fraud's going on, and no one is really paying much attention to it.
Until it's too late.
There are a lot of people who would say, I could never fall for something like this.
And they're wrong.
Ann Reed doesn't know how she fell for it, only how she feels now that it's over.
Sickening. And foolish. Dumb. What else can I say?
Now that the money she planned to leave her children is gone.
Hard. And to let them know I was so foolish I fell for a scam.
Her son is fighting to bring her scammers to justice. The Collin County Sheriff's Office confirms it's investigating. Reed says he got a call after he submitted his case to the FBI's website. Collin County investigators told him they were working a similar case.
We knew almost instantly there was no chance of getting the money back.
But there is still a chance. Their story could save another family. Dana says it should serve as a nudge to get involved with your aging family's finances sooner. And perhaps the most important advice.
Just don't answer. Just don't answer it.
He knows from the many cases he's worked just like Reed's. It only takes one phone call.
My guy who lost his $900,000, it all started with a phone call.
In Fort Worth, I'm Brittany Costello.
Yeah, best to ignore those unfamiliar numbers and be careful about what you're posting on social media. Every personal detail can help scammers trick you. You know, your heart breaks for Ann. It's just terrible how she lost so much money. But as Brittany said, we are hope that by sharing this story, we can stop it from happening to someone else. And those are your headlines from North Texas.
Okay, Texas weather. Overall, it's looking very nice for most of the state for the next 3 days. 60s out west, El Paso, not seeing any rain for you through the weekend. A little breezy in Lubbock on Saturday. As a front comes in, you'll get cooler Sunday, but nice weather. Dallas, same thing. So Dallas, Saturday, you warm to 62, then a front's going to come in for the north half of Texas Sunday and cool you off to 55. But the weather stays beautiful. There's not much rain. In fact, there isn't any rain with this front coming in for the weekend. Austin warming to 70 Saturday, then cooling to 62 on Sunday. That's the front coming in Sunday, the dry front. It won't reach Houston Sunday. Actually, Sunday's the warmest day for Houston. You go to 70, then you're going to cool off early next week, Houston. The only spot that may see some rain, this is going to be Friday, and it's going to be right along the coast. That includes Houston, so that's why Houston Friday has some raindrops. And really, it's the only spot where 3D Outlook is showing any significant rain. That's going to be on Friday. And let's just look at this. And it may not be much at all, but there will be light rain and drizzle from the valley, Laredo, Corpus, Coastal Bend, up into the Houston area, maybe up to Beaumont, Lake Charles, New Orleans, as another little piece of energy riding the upper level winds coming in from the southwest to the northeast gets us a little bit of rain on Friday. Saturday morning, there could be a lingering shower on the Texas coast, but you can see the rest of the area. Friday, Saturday, it's dry, it's beautiful. So we go into Saturday afternoon, and that piece of energy exits, and the entire state is gorgeous Saturday afternoon. No rain, sunshine. Lubbock to Abilene, Del Rio out to Fort Stockton, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Longview, Tyler, looking good. Maybe a lingering cloud Saturday for the piney woods of East Texas, but that's about it. Davis Mountains are beautiful Saturday. We'll go on a Sunday morning. A little bit of low cloudiness across the eastern quarter of Texas. East of Austin, I-45 corridor, a little bit of cloudiness. That model's giving us a little burst of a little sprinkle here near Texarkana Sunday morning. But Sunday morning, really, it's quiet. Austin west, out to San Antonio, Midland, El Paso, just beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning. And then as far as rain goes, Sunday afternoon, Texas looks dry, a couple of sprinkles, northern Louisiana. So rainfall totals Friday, that's the only rain chance. That's that rain on the southwest flow. You're looking at the green, which is going to be 1/100th to 1/10th of an inch of rain. Not much in the bucket at all. Temperatures Friday afternoon, chilly across the state, 50s and 60s, 50 in Amarillo. We go into Saturday morning, near freezing Amarillo, Lubbock 28 Saturday morning. Austin 50, Victoria 57, a cool Saturday morning. And by Saturday afternoon, we're going to warm it up. 80 in San Antonio, Lubbock 70, Amarillo 62, Victoria 77. That's Saturday afternoon. Saturday night into Sunday, we're going to get a front come into the northern half of Texas, so Amarillo back down to 36 Sunday morning. Houston's good at 63, San Antonio 54, Marfa 42 Sunday morning, and then we'll have a little bit of a warm up for the southern half of the state Sunday afternoon, staying cool for the northern half of the state on Sunday afternoon. Quick update on the drought. We do see some extreme drought. San Antonio to west of Houston to Corpus. Area where there's no drought, have plenty of rain. San Angelo to Waco to Dallas. How much rain the next from December 10th to the 14th? Drier than normal for most of the state. And then looking further out at temperatures, it's above normal Texas out to the Mountain West, the 10th through the 14th. All right, Texas, there's your weather.
I'm Isis Romero, and this is the news in San Antonio. A traffic stop led to a chase that ended with 2 suspects in custody. And during the investigation, authorities say they also found evidence of another crime. Vanessa Croy has the latest details from deputies.
Deputies say that chase ended when the suspects tried to ditch their car in a northeast side neighborhood and run, but they didn't get far. Deputies say when they searched the car, they found a stash of stolen credit cards and crystal meth, the kind of evidence that could lead to a crack in a much bigger case. According to deputies, BCSO's street crimes unit was on patrol near I-35 and Rittiman Road when a deputy spotted a blue car speeding. They say when deputies tried to stop the car, the driver took off and led deputies on a chase going over 70 miles per hour on the frontage road.
On top of that, they cut off several other motorists and almost caused 2 other vehicles to collide.
The suspects then ditched the car in that neighborhood off Stall Road, and deputies say the driver and passenger ran in opposite directions, but both were caught within minutes. And inside that car, deputies say they found multiple stolen IDs, a mailbox key, and about 15 to 20 stolen credit cards and what appeared to be crystal meth.
You know, they somehow fabricate a fake key. I don't know how they get a copy of it, and they just take everybody's mail, you know, and it adds up. They use their credit cards, charging, they'll steal their information, they'll sell their information. So a lot of organized crime going on with it.
Investigators say the driver has prior felony charges, including a previous evading warrant. Deputies say right now they're trying to track down the owners of those stolen cards and IDs and try to figure out when and where they were stolen. They're also looking at leads to see if this case is tied to a bigger mail theft ring that's been hitting communities across Bexar County. Reporting on the northeast side, Vanessa Croy, KENS 5.
This month marks 3 years since a Del Rio woman was shot and killed while traveling along I-10 in San Antonio. Mike Jimenez revisits the case with a family member who was sitting next to the victim when she was shot.
I was speaking to her, of course, because I could still feel her with me. So just telling her that the kids were okay.
Victoria Silva describes the moments after her sister-in-law, Rain Silva, was shot around 7:30 the evening of December 17th, 2022, as they rode in a truck on I-10 West near downtown San Antonio. Victoria's brother was driving, Rain was in the middle seat, and Victoria was next to her. The back seat was Victoria's mother and Rain's 2 young children. Victoria says as they drove along the highway, they heard a loud noise and saw the driver's window shatter.
That's kind of when we all just realized what had happened. Someone had shot through the vehicle.
A single bullet was fired, hitting Rain in the head. She was rushed to the hospital where she was put on life support, but died the next morning.
There's no kind of plan or easy or right way to deal with the emotions of having someone taken away from you so unexpectedly and so violently.
Victoria says nothing happened on the roadway that would have caused someone to shoot at their truck.
It's like a puzzle, every piece is important, and I feel like there's definitely someone out there holding on to that piece that might help us one day complete the puzzle.
Investigators released photos of the suspect's vehicle, a dark-colored SUV seen traveling westbound on Cesar Chavez in South Flores moments before the shooting. Rain's family is now pleading for someone to come forward.
We owe it to her to do the effort and put in the steps to kind of try to find that justice for her.
Mike Jimenez, KENS 5.
A former Schertz police officer is at the center of a criminal investigation accused of sexual assault. Rania Kaur has the details.
Albert De La Torre was the Schertz police officer for 5 years. He was just let go a couple of weeks ago, and yesterday the Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office arrested him for a charge of sexual assault.
The Schertz Police Department says that he was a canine officer hired in September 2020. He was fired 4 days after the department initiated a sexual assault and official oppression report November 14. No details have been released about the exact accusation that led to the charge. The report named him a suspect, and Schertz PD says he was fired because of a, quote, sustained complaint of truthfulness. This means there was reportedly enough evidence to prove that De La Torre was dishonest. The Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office arrested him during a high-risk traffic stop yesterday in Cibolo. De La Torre is still at the Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office. His bond has not been set yet.
We're still working to learn more information. As soon as we do, we'll keep you updated on air and online. Rania Kaur, KENS 5.
San Antonio police are investigating an animal cruelty case involving a cat being shot with a blow dart. So far, no arrests have been made. Simone Simpson spoke with a concerned neighbor.
Police say it was around 1:30 in the afternoon on November 28th when they were called by a person who said an orange dart was inside their cat's body. This all happened in the Spring Terrace neighborhood on the northwest side.
Police say the caller immediately took his cat to the vet for emergency surgery, the dart striking his lung and spine.
The suspect is still on the run, and neighbors' concerns continue to grow each day.
I think it's despicable, but it can also be scary because doing violence against an innocent animal that can't defend, can't speak to it, what else could that person be capable of?
The status of the cat is unknown. If you have any information, you're urged to call SAPD at 210-207-8326. Reporting from the northwest side, Simone Simpson, KENS 5.
And that's the news in San Antonio.
I'm Mike Gillespie in Corpus Christi, and here's a look at some of what's happening in South Texas. Corpus Christi ISD holding the first of 8 community meetings as it considers consolidating 7 campuses. Now, that includes 4 elementary schools and 3 middle schools. Enrollment has dropped for the 3rd consecutive year, and district leaders say that several schools now have far too many empty classrooms. Deputy Superintendent Dr. Sandra Clement gives us more insight.
What do we do in order to reduce our deficit that is in part because we have less kids than we projected, because the state has cut our funding, and because our aging schools are having major issues, ongoing issues that are costing a lot of money to fix and maintain.
The district says this is just one area being reviewed as it also looks for other ways to save money. More public meetings will take place at various campuses throughout December and January. The sparkle of one of the biggest Christmas traditions in our nation's capital has a South Texas connection. We're talking about the National Tree Lighting Ceremony just outside the White House. It's always a huge production, but as Michael Gibson shows us this year, a Beeville man played a major role in pulling it all off. Take a look.
This year's National Christmas Tree Lighting didn't just light up the night, it lit up the sky. A 32-foot red spruce from the forest of Virginia took center stage, and with one flip of the switch, the President and First Lady blasted all 80,000 of the LED lights into action.
This is an annual tradition going back to 1923.
But here's the twist. One of the people helping make this massive holiday moment happen grew up right here in South Texas.
Yeah, it is quite an honor. I can't imagine that when I was a little boy in Beeville that I'd be doing something like this. So thank you so much.
Thomas Graham is the president and CEO of Crosswind Media and Public Relations. He was born in Corpus Christi but grew up in Beeville and graduated from A.C. Jones High School. He's handled big-time media campaigns before, but helping the White House stage one of the nation's most iconic Christmas traditions, well, he says that's a whole different level of pressure and a whole lot more sparkle.
I'll be honest, I'm so excited that our company, Crosswind, is involved in helping organize, come up with the theme, support the production, support the promotion. It's just such a delight and such a thrill.
Michael Gibson, 3 News.
I think he also got a picture with the president there, so not a bad way to start the holidays. Hey, folks over at Driscoll Children's Hospital got a special visit of their own. Corpus Christi native and Cincinnati Reds catcher Jose Trevino stopped by to bring cheer to young patients. He teamed up with the Starlight Children's Foundation for a toy distribution, spending time with patients and their families. As a father of 2, Trevino says that giving back to the community is especially meaningful during the holiday season.
These kids, they are the future of our community, of South Texas, of Corpus Christi, and it's big, you know, just trying to advocate for people to get out in the community and help out, especially times like this.
Now, hospital staff say that events like this provide a needed boost for patients and their families. And from Corpus Christi, that is a quick look at some of what's happening in South Texas.
are your headlines from Southeast Texas. I'm Tia Johnson. A 68-year-old Southeast Texas man is still recovering after a freak fishing accident left him with a gunshot wound. As 12 News reporter Derek Jones explains, he's being reunited with the young man who jumped into action to save him.
I got up that morning and decided I'm going fishing.
68-year-old Glenn Guidry has been fishing for as long as he can remember. But one fishing accident almost made the holidays look different for the Guidry family.
I just heard a loud pop, and I put my gun down and I looked at my arm and I said, uh-oh.
While on Taylor's Bayou, Guidry hooked a big fish with sharp teeth and tried to shoot it, but the gun misfired and hit his arm instead. With a serious injury, he made it back to the J.D. Murphy boat dock, where Michael Rome was working on shore.
So he was about 5 feet from, I guess, the bulkhead before he was coming up to it, and when he got close enough for me to see it, I understood that it was an emergency. So I immediately jumped on the boat.
The bullet had torn through Guidry's arm, blowing out 4 inches of his bone. He underwent 2 surgeries as he continues to recover. Now the two men have been reunited through Facebook.
Just being there, brother. Just being there, boy.
Catherine Guidry says her husband called right after the shooting, and she's grateful someone was there to help.
I had to remain calm so he would remain calm. Michael wasn't there. I don't know if Glenn would have not panicked. And being on blood thinners, my fear was him blacking out and bleeding out for somebody was there to help him.
In the middle of all the fear and chaos, a new friendship was born.
I have new friends to hope that for the rest of my life.
There is Derek Jones reporting. Guidry still has one more surgery ahead, but he says he's ready to get back on the water. A man who was recently charged in a Beaumont murder is facing new charges. Michael Denson Jr. is charged with aggravated sexual assault. According to police, he sexually assaulted a woman in a red tagged building near First and McFadden. The attack happened back in September. Denson was recently charged in the 2021 death of Shaniqua Castaneda. Her case was reopened after Beaumont police received a tip that implicated Denson in her death. He's being held in the Jefferson County Jail on bonds totaling more than $400,000. Jurors will continue deliberating in the trial of a Southeast Texas doctor accused of sexual assault. Dr. Neer Benier is accused of assaulting a patient during what should have been a routine post-operation exam. 2 former patients who aren't involved in this current case testified Wednesday. They say they felt violated during past procedures and follow-up visits. Benier's last trial ended in a mistrial back in February. Beaumont City Council members unanimously approved a new contract with the city's police union. Even though the current contract doesn't expire until September of 2026, city leaders in the union wanted to start negotiations early. The new 4-year agreement includes enhanced incentives and a 5% raise each year. 12 News spoke with the president of the Beaumont Police Officer Association. Aaron Llewellyn hopes the new contract will help in recruitment and retention.
There was a time when Beaumont PD was the career destination for law enforcement in the area because we were the largest agency and had some of the best benefits. Through time, some of those things have shifted. The pendulum has swung a little bit, but we hope this contract is going to swing the pendulum back our direction.
The incentive pay helps cover the cost of licensing, education, or duties like field training and SWAT. Wednesday was an exciting day for West Orange Cove CISD. The school district held a groundbreaking ceremony for a brand new early childhood center. The facility is part of the district's $72 million bond that passed in 2024. Officials say they'll replace and upgrade the North Early Learning Center campus, which was originally built in 1964. Christie's will now provide in-house pediatric care across Southeast Texas. The hospital says newborns and admitted children at St. Elizabeth can get immediate evaluations and consistent care 7 days a week. Christie's says the coverage includes a team of 1 pediatrician and 2 nurse practitioners. And the Salvation Army of Orange's annual Angel Tree program continues this week.
We have the plants, businesses come and adopt the angels, and the employees from them, and even the businesses themselves will have the employees go and adopt some of the angels so that they can provide the gifts for the children, so that they don't go without a Christmas gift on Christmas morning.
Captain Salgado says any angels left over will be sent to local Walmarts or businesses to be adopted by customers through December 8th. And those were the headlines from Southeast Texas.
In Austin, I'm Mark Mullins. We begin with a story developing just north of Austin in Georgetown. A Taiwanese tech company is getting ready to open up a new manufacturing site in the area. It's yet another sign of growth in Williamson County. KVU's Allison Martinez explains how Georgetown is hoping to keep any growing pains to a minimum.
For years, Central Texas has been at the heart of a national tech boom. Companies like Tesla and Samsung have helped transform the area, bringing with them a wave of new manufacturers and tech suppliers.
I think that whenever there's a new company like that comes into an area, the city is more reactive than proactive.
That's why the city of Georgetown is doing what it can to get it right.
We want to make life better for residents in Georgetown and make it a positive impact, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that these are a good fit.
In Georgetown's Blue Springs development, Pegatron is establishing its very first U.S. manufacturing site. The company makes and manufactures electronic products like desktop computers and smart home devices.
Just to be clear, it's not a data center, it's a manufacturing facility, so water and manufacturing for electronics don't usually mix, so it's a low water user, which is great for our community.
Construction is expected to start in the next few weeks, but you won't see much from the street. That's because the building you see behind me will stay intact. The real transformation will happen inside.
The company expects to hire hundreds of employees. With that being said, you might expect traffic to look like this. But instead,
this project's located in an existing business park, so we've actually built the roads. We have the road networks to support that area already. So it's been a multi-year effort to prepare us for these types of investments that are starting to happen in Georgetown.
The city just finished rebuilding and widening the Southeast Inner Loop, a key roadway bordering the future Pegatron site. City leaders say the company will bring hundreds of jobs to the city, a perk people living in the area say is a huge plus.
But I think it's exciting for people that are graduating from high school or from college. It allows them to have the opportunity to get, to get employed, to get jobs.
For our community, I think we're excited about those jobs coming in where they'll be able to go out and support those restaurants and stores and small businesses that are already here in Georgetown and help everybody succeed and grow long term as well.
Pegatron is expected to officially open for business by this summer. Reporting in Georgetown, Allison Martinez, KVUE News.
A new study from Dell Medical School at UT Austin shows whooping cough is making a dangerous comeback here in the Lone Star State. More than 3,500 cases have been confirmed this year. It is the highest number in more than a decade and a tenfold increase since 2023. So far, Travis County has reported at least 134 cases this year. Health officials say declining vaccination rates, increased travel, and lack of awareness about adult boosters are fueling this surge. The disease is especially dangerous for infants and vulnerable populations. Experts urge parents to make sure their children are vaccinated and for adults to check if they need boosters. President Donald Trump is pardoning a developer behind Austin's Moody Center, allowing him to walk away without a trial. Timothy Leiweke was indicted over the summer on antitrust charges. Prosecutors say he conspired with a competitor to rig the contract for the $338 million arena. Leiweke was facing up to 10 years in prison and a $1 million fine. His company, Oakview Group, already agreed to pay a $15 million penalty. Leaders around the city of Austin gathered Thursday to highlight the continuing fight to secure the rights and freedoms of all human beings under a nearly 77-year-old resolution by the United Nations. Austin Pro Tem Mayor Vanessa Fuentes and other city council members joined community advocates at City Hall Thursday morning. Event organizers say they're aiming to show how important it is to advance freedoms for all people, including LGBTQ rights, abortion access, and more. Fuentes declared next Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, as Human Rights Day in Austin. Advocates hope this will set an example for the rest of the state.
Here in Texas, we know that everyone, regardless of where they live, their gender, their age, sexuality, their religious beliefs, their immigration status, their criminal background, or their economic standing, have basic human rights. With this proclamation, the city of Austin is setting an example for cities across Texas to explicitly name the importance of human rights for their citizens.
The United Nations also recognizes December 10th as Human Rights Day, the same day the Declaration was adopted. The Austin History Center is reopening in the newly renovated John Henry Falk Library building. It comes after a $14.5 million renovation that took 8 years to complete. The work modernized the building to preserve historical archives while adding updated systems like new heating, air conditioning, and lighting. The Falk building is more than twice the size of the History Center's previous location. It gives the center more space to showcase Austin's history. The new facility will eventually operate from both buildings as part of a new history campus in downtown Austin. There's no word yet on an official reopening date, but a ceremony for the public will be held on Sunday. A Texas nonprofit based in Austin provides opportunities for artists with disabilities to access art and community. As KVUE's Jessica Cha shows us, they're still working to elevate these artists despite federal funding cuts.
The first project we're working on is a name badge.
The project idea is the fuel. The beads are the kindling.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
And these seniors,
pink, it is brown and green, black,
have the spark to light the fire behind some great art.
These are going to end up going to my grandchildren.
Twice a month, seniors or disabled adults at St. George's Court gather to create art. It's hosted by ArtSpark Texas, an Austin nonprofit.
So ArtSpark Texas sparks the creative in everyone.
The program, originally known as Very Special Arts, was created by Jean Kennedy Smith, President JFK's younger sister, back in the 70s, to make art more accessible for people with disabilities.
People with disabilities traditionally have not been included. She just decided that this was a great way to foster community and to help people develop their more creative self.
Now the program works with people with disabilities, veterans, and older people in monthly dance classes, media arts programs, and this visual art class.
It gives us something to do.
Pete Siebert says it keeps seniors like them social.
Creates more opportunity for us to be community.
But to him, the projects keep his spark alive.
This is another way to stay in touch so you don't get kind of lost, you know what I mean, and sometimes the fog of being, well, I'm 84 now.
But recent cuts to funding threaten to dampen that flame. Hughes says recent cuts to funding for the Department of Education and the National Autism Association has wiped out 10% of ArtSpark Texas's budget.
We have scaled back in our programming,
which includes the senior visual arts classes. But Hughes says they're working on getting funding elsewhere to keep the spark alive. In Austin, Jessica Cha, KVUE News.
People living in Kyle are one step closer to having more county services nearby. Hays County Commissioners recently approved a design contract with HDR Architecture for a new East Side administrative building. That facility will bring satellite offices to Kyle, including the Health Department, Sheriff's Office, and Veteran Services. The county plans to fund the project through certificates of obligation, with a vote expected in January. Dell Children's Medical Center held its annual holiday tree lighting celebration on Thursday evening. Patients, their families, and staff all got together to watch the tree lighting and to enjoy cookies, hot cocoa, and other treats. That tree is about 28 feet tall and features about 2,500 lights. It'll stay lit through the first week of January. Great to see. Those are the headlines in Austin. I'm Mark Mullins. See you next time.
Hi, I'm Brennan Gurley, and here's what's making headlines across East Texas. The Children's Miracle Network just named their miracle child for the upcoming year, Lily Halifax. Lily knows all too well what it's like to spend time in the hospital during the holiday season after a recent stay. Our Dana Dixon introduces us to this miracle child who shares a rare genetic condition with less than 300 others, but it's not holding her back.
I like being unique because there's nobody like me.
10-year-old Lily Halifax is glowing with joy, not just during the holidays. She's bright and hopeful all year long, even through 8 years of genetic testing. Her diagnosis, Goltz syndrome, a condition which is extremely rare, affecting fewer than 300 people worldwide.
My doctor's Dr. Skeeter.
I'm going to look in your eyes. Lily's Christus pediatrician has walked alongside Lily and her family from the beginning.
They immediately got us to the right doctors we needed for all the different things that are involved in her syndrome she has. the special needs nurse, Teresa, she's amazing. She gets us all the help we need. She answers my emails right away, and it's just everyone there is very helpful for us. It makes us feel like we're not going through this alone.
Dr. Jennifer Steger noticed her unique features: fused fingers and toes, striking blue eyes, and other signs.
We didn't know anything was going to be wrong with her until she came. The first thing we saw was she had syndactyly of her fingers. So we immediately got on that, and we started seeing a doctor, and her first surgery was about 9 or 10 months old.
The Christus Cares pediatric team helps support Lily and her family through many doctor's appointments, surgeries, and getting the specialty devices she needs to live her life to the fullest.
I have a hearing aid on my right ear. My 3 little bones that are in my ear, they're supposed to kick each other, but they don't kick. It makes everything louder so I can hear better. I have coloboma, which means that my eyes don't close to adjust to the sunlight. So my glasses, lenses, change in the sun so that way they get darker.
So she can shine brighter.
So on my iPad, I like making videos. I make like all kinds of different videos. In this button, you can do a voiceover. Today, I'm eating donuts.
Her curiosity, imagination, and endless giggles earned her the title of Silly Lily.
This is probably my favorite part. It's hilarious.
And who wouldn't want to be a part of Lily's World, the title of her future channel where she hopes to entertain and inspire other children facing challenges just like her. Do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
A YouTuber.
And she'll have many stories to share as the 2026 Miracle Child.
I give these to people that are special, and they do something for our city that people enjoy, and it brings joy. So I present you with this key to the city, and Thursday night when we light this tree, it's going to be beautiful.
Lily and her parents will be shining the light on all the ways the Children's Miracle Network not only helped Lily, but all the East Texas children who depend on the life-saving pediatric programs, services, and equipment at Christus Trinity Mother Francis. With another Merry Miracle, I'm Dana Dixon.
And Lily, you're a brave little girl. A Berryville family is turning their home into a holiday hotspot, and they're inviting everyone to come enjoy the Christmas magic. After months of work, their festive light show is finally glowing bright for the community to see. CBS 19's Robert De La Garza shows us the holiday spirit lighting up the neighborhood.
I think the first thing I said was like, that's crazy to see this light show like on such a small road like this, like down in Berryville, you know, you don't see stuff like that a lot, so.
I really wanted it to be something like an event and have the best thing would say is just walk away and say, wow.
I like it and it's super pretty.
Well, each one of those lights has its own little circuit board. I'd say there's probably about 5,000.
I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, we definitely didn't expect anything like this, and it's really bringing the Christmas spirit.
It looks like some people are trying to spread some Christmas cheer to everybody.
It's almost as if you could see a song. You can see lights or you could hear something, but when you put them together, that's where it touches people.
Oh no, I immediately looked at him and I was like, pull the car around, park, like I want to look at it, turn the music up louder. I wanted to get a bunch of videos, so it was really cool.
Because the simplest things could change someone's world. So I just wanted it to be something that would instill emotion in some manner. And then it just grew and grew and grew. I threw in a song called The Christmas Shoes, which is about a little boy that wants to buy these shoes and his mom is very sick. Basically, the reason I did that is because my mom died the day after Christmas in 1997. I looked at all of the great things that she did for me, and I always thought that I would make that holiday something to honor her and just enjoy what she did for me.
And it just goes to show everything is bigger and better in Texas. And that's a wrap of your East Texas headlines. I'm Brennan Gurley.
I'm Lindsay Littman. Here are your headlines from Central Texas. Suspended OBGYN Major Blaine McGraw is now in custody at the Bell County Jail. This as members of Congress are now demanding an independent investigation into what they call systemic failures. Our Juliana Jackson has the latest.
Suspended Fort Hood OBGYN Major Blaine McGraw was arrested by Fort Hood and booked into the Bell County Jail on December 3rd. He's being housed as an inmate of the U.S. Army. The Army's Criminal Investigation Division is now revealing the scope of its investigation. Army CID says it's conducted hundreds of interviews and reviewed more than 0.5 terabyte of digital media. To put that in perspective, that's enough data to store more than 100,000 photos or hundreds of hours of video. More than 100 women have now come forward as plaintiffs across multiple law firms, including former patients from both Fort Hood and Tripler Army Medical Center in Hawaii, where McGraw completed his residency from 2019 to 2023. Fort Hood officials say they identified 1,400 potential patients from McGraw's appointment logs and have sent them notification letters. This case has now caught the attention of Congress. Hawaii's congressional delegation has sent a letter to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, calling the allegations a matter of grave concern. Senators Brian Schatz and Mazie Hirono, along with Representatives Ed Case and Jill Toccato, write that McGraw is alleged to have assaulted and exploited potentially thousands of former patients. The lawmakers add the department owes these victims accountability for its failure to stop this misconduct. The congressional delegation is calling for an urgent inquiry by the DoD Inspector General into what they call systematic failures. They're demanding a joint briefing within 6 months and answers to 8 specific questions. Texas Senator Ted Cruz sent a statement to 6 News saying, "These reports are deeply concerning and indescribably horrific. I and my staff are in contact with the Army and monitoring their investigation. I'm committed to ensuring a full accounting of the facts and that justice is served."
Meantime, our team reached out to state senators, local representatives, Army CID, and McGraw's attorney. We're waiting to hear back. Residents living near the Niagara water plant in Temple say they're frustrated and concerned as the city council is set to vote on a possible annexation of nearly 850 acres of land into the city limits. The land currently zoned for agricultural use is expected to be rezoned for light industrial development, despite the industrial park already having more than 2,000 acres available. Residents are speaking out. Last month, 6 News met with a homeowner in the area along Moores Mill Road who said she has voiced concern for years over what she describes as nauseating smells coming from the Niagara bottling plant. A separate landowner in the area, Kenneth Lutz, is worried more facilities will only add to the problem and disrupt the tranquility of the rural area. The land's owner, the Economic Development Corporation, requested the voluntary annexation, something state law allows. That request appears to be the council's primary reason for supporting the expansion. Lutz says residents still haven't been given a clear justification from the city as to why nearly 1,000 additional acres needs to be annexed.
They already have 2,000 acres available for building on. Why do they need a 950 more? A lot of residents that live in this area are concerned about the tranquil nature of this rural community here versus what it's going to be once it's developed for industrial purposes.
Part of the uncertainty comes from the term light industrial, which can range from warehouses to manufacturing plants. Of course, we'll stay on top of that expected vote. And those are your headlines from Central Texas.